Hi, what's up, what's up? We are reading chapter 128 of Dr. Stone. In the last one, we had Ibarra's master plan start to come into effect. They had the decoy petrification weapon. Now they have the real one still in their arsenal, ready to go. They're evacuating everyone onto the Perseus with the hope that then the island will be free of everyone but the intruders, and then they can bathe the entire light, or the entire island in the light of petrification. Okay, but Senkyu sees this as this perfect chance. So now we gotta see how Senkyu is counter-scheming. And then, of course, we have probably the two stupidest characters in the entire franchise, Magma and Yo, armed with a gun, who have their own schemes, presumably, for better or worse. And who knows what will come of that. Okay, now we're facing the island-wide battle royale. Fortnite. It's a Fortnite chapter. I see. Of course, if we present the master statue to every last islander, they'll have to face the facts. We'll expose Ibarra's wicked schemes. I like that Taiju is the one lifting it, of course, because he's got the cheat code level muscle. The right to rule is passed through heredity, so the master's successor would be his child. If we believe what Ginro thought he saw, Soyuz is the child. And this would also explain maybe why he was so hastily evacuated from the island. His mother and father foresaw some sort of coup from Ibarra. They knew that he would be at risk because of this hereditary factor. So they secretly stealthed him away to the mainland, to Ishigami village. Okay, this is all adding up. And won't the villagers be like, hey, why isn't the master evacuating? The villagers are like, everybody else is on this boat. All of the other upper staff, the upper echelon of the hunters and stuff, Kirisame and Mose, and everybody else is here. Where's the master? So it feels like the time is ripe for this type of revelation. The rightful heir to the throne is you, Soyuz. Ooh. Only bringing people onto the ship. No cargo from the looks of it. Barra's probably pretending the master is already aboard. Right. But he already left the statue behind. Right. If anyone left on the island haven't discovered the truth, they'd just be petrified anyways. Okay, so this all makes sense. Ibarra, pretty smart cookie. With that in mind, let's split into two teams. By the way, I forgot to mention this. I love this shot of Soyuz. I think this is so cool. Just his face, you can tell he's having this revelation that, like, it's all adding up for him as well. Like, he can't really dispute it. He understands now the role he must play, and it's a mixed feeling. It's a mixed feeling, to be sure, to realize that the island could be, hopefully will be, yours as the result of this this scheme. I guess they could depetrify the master too, if they're able to recover something to kind of shore up the rest of his head. So maybe not so, I don't know. Let's see. Anyways, they're going to split into two teams. A statue retrieval team and a time-buying team to stir up trouble. And this is where maybe the gun comes in play. So they just need to delay the deploying of the petrification device. They don't really have a plan for if they can do an island-wide petrification blast. That's pretty hard to beat. We're totally outnumbered, so the gun is key to beating the enemy back. Getting my piece back! It's not his! Magma says shoot first and ask questions later. Better find him quick before he runs out of ammo. I think he's just standing on the shore, just shooting at the boat. Yeah. Yeah. He's literally just standing there shooting at the boat. And of course, everyone freaks out. But they can't petrify the whole island until they've evacuated everyone. And this is where I think one of the cool kind of subtleties of this arc we can see take hold. Like, Ibarra is definitely quite evil. He's quite ruthless and such. and Mose is heartless and scheming in his own way, and there's some other people with pretty bad personalities. Things with the harem, of course, are quite unacceptable and really quite harmful for the poor girls that are abducted into it. But for the most part, the rule of the island is quite peaceful and stable. They're not like an evil empire. They're not going around just petrifying and murdering people at random. And most of the islanders are probably of the opinion that the master keeps them safe, that the master is a good and kind leader, and that these kind of tributes they have to pay are just a fair return. Like it's a bad situation, but it's not like a situation so obviously bad to all the islanders. So all I'm saying by this is like they really do need to evacuate everyone. If there was a situation where they're like, oh shoot, we have to petrify everyone now, and a bunch of people's family members got left behind, that would totally change the villagers' perception of how this island is ruled, right? So I kind of like this balance and the fact that this is becoming like plot relevant. That they really do need the time to evacuate everyone, even if there's somebody standing on the coast making a loud noise and shooting invisible arrows at them, perhaps is what they conceive of it as. Can't hit anything with this. Oh, poor Gen. Gen's stuck with magma. Behold, death sorcery. My sorcery ripped open a hole in your boat, and my next spell might put a few holes in your heads. Okay, so he manages to bluff his way into a sinking boat, hopping on a sinking ship. Their plan is to row out to the Perseus and shoot Ibarra? Okay. Why am I helping us get closer? I'm confused. That wasn't fit yet. Like, I don't know if this makes any sense. Oh gosh. Yeah, Magma's tried to kill him. Okay, leading a solo charge on the Perseus with Ibarra. This is all hope of victory goes down with him. Yeah, if the gun gets into the enemy hands, that's totally GG. You can pull Blam! Oh, this is good. Okay, alright. This really does have a battle royale sort of feeling. Just because everyone is at odds with everyone. No one can understand anyone else's plan. The only thing that seems to be going okay so far is the Satchel Retrieval team. I'm trying to stop the league with his bare hands. Okay, this really is Fortnite. This is just what Fortnite is. Okay. I like, so they shoot some fire arrows. It's a pretty badass shot. Lighting it up. Suika serving a directional arrow is very cute. Ooh, and Soyuz. Perhaps a memory stirring deep from his childhood. Recognizing the master's hut. Probably somewhere that he spent a lot of time as a baby. No, we're gonna get faked out though. This is Manga 101, right? If you have the master statue in there, then the way you do it is you have a panel of like Taiju not quite reaching in, and then the next page is like the open and the reaction or whatever. But since we have the shot of him opening it all excitedly, I'm almost certain we're going to turn the page, no statue, right? Oh, it's even worse. The statue smashed to smithereens. Now, Yuzuriya is here with her cheat code level handicrafts. Could perhaps reassemble the master, but they're really, really tight on time. And their main thing was just showing people the stone face of the master. But showing them a big pile of rubble doesn't do anything. So will it be the scramble to reassemble? Or are they going to have to go to a plan B? Can't let the invaders have getting their hands on them. Once it's over, I'll have someone carve a replica. Then silence a sculptor for good. Oh, Ibarra. Thinking of everything. Ooh, yes, she's doing it. See, I like this. I like this. This feels very shonen to me. I like the moments in shonen series where There's all sorts of scheming, and it seems like the bad guy has the upper hand via their schemes. But then, just due to the strength of the character, especially when those characters have been going through a lot to grow those skills, just because the character is so skilled at this point, even though they fell for the plan is overcome. It's just like a really radiantly transcendental moment. The one that comes to mind is do you remember in Assassination Classroom, there's like the evil principal character or whatever rigs up a test for Koro Sensei where he has to like answer the questions before the bomb detonates in the book. And it's basically like this perfectly calculated scheme to abuse everything he knows about Koro Sensei. And then Koro Sensei is just like, all right, I'll just go even faster. Like, I'll just make it work. And it kind of feels like an ass pull, you know, that they can't write like a counter scheme to get out of it. But if it's pulled off right, if it has the right sort of energy and the right like feeling of triumph to it, it feels so good. Okay, so they begin the master puzzle. Some of these cross sections look old and worn. Parts are weathered and some are broken. Can't be revived. Oh, so that's kind of tragic. And the timing of this, I think, is really quite sad and beautiful that Yuzuriha says this at the same moment that Soyuz kind of has this memory. So we know now that this isn't just the precursor to a beautiful reunion between the living master and Soyuz, but kind of as close as Soyuz will ever get to reconnecting with his father. Oh man, this is well done. The shots of the hand within the hand, and then his adult hand holding only the statue. The smiling face of his father in between. It's almost biblical. I don't want to get into that, but it has some sort of real old world storytelling feeling to embrace the hand of your father's statue. Took me 20 whole years to remember, but now it's all coming back. Everything. Father. Okay, now back to work. You only have a few minutes. A very touching moment, but back to work, back to work. It's nice, though. I get it. Even the revival fluid can't bring him back now. Wow. So even Soyuz, who's not at all an expert on this sort of thing compared to Yuzuriha, etc., knows. I mean, okay, I'll say this, though. It just occurred to me. For all of Ibarra's genius scheming, why did he leave the rubble altogether there? Why didn't he just throw it out into the woods? Then it would be like truly GG. I don't know. I guess he thought maybe that would look suspicious. Maybe somebody would see him doing it. Whatever. Sorry. That was a really inappropriately timed nitpick. I'm so sorry. It hit me. Like how lucky they are that all of this stuff is right there. I remember exactly what you looked like, so my friends and I can piece you back together just how you once were. I promise. Oh, this is so cool. And I love that there's this payoff that like Jinro had noticed and remembered that the master looked like Soyuz, that he had relayed that information right before he petrified. And now, because they knew that, and because they planned on Soyuz being the sun, Soyuz can be here to guide them in rebuilding his father. Okay, so the boats are approaching. And Senkyu looks like he has just lost it. That all of he probably had some like very well crafted scheme for how to delay the petrification device and how to interfere with the enemies on the Perseus and blah blah blah. And then once the boat race started, he's just like, okay, screw it. Had time to have a blast and go wild. 10 billion% sure we can buy time until the statue revival team can get their butts over here. The Spear of Mine will buy all the time they need. The fact that Magma has the gun, who's probably like one of the worst at aiming, because he's just like a dumbass. And also has a lot of physical strength, is one of their most capable fighters without the gun. Give the gun to Senkyu. Senkyu is not a fighter, but I'm sure he can aim really well. I'll stop that moron before he runs out of ammo. Like, really, that is the threat. This is so insane. Truly a battle royale. Friendly on friendly combat. Just to save ammo. I love it. I love it. What was I going to say? This reminded me of something. Oh, shoot, what was it? Oh, dang it. It's like completely out of my head. Oh, I remember what it was. Okay. I just learned about this recently. So I was just thinking about how kind of inherent it is, at least it seems in our minds, of how projectiles work, how projectiles are influenced by gravity, how aiming works, how like leading a shot works, how throwing something works. To me, this sort of physical intuitiveness, not that I'm like amazing at it or anything, but I at least have some sense of what should happen. But apparently this isn't as universal as I thought. My friend was showing me this article about an outfit in the Vietnam War, an American outfit that was an experiment that apparently there's a minimum IQ that during the draft and during recruitment and stuff, they test potential soldiers. They have to hit some minimum intelligence threshold, measured by some obviously flawed metrics of intelligence, but something that's just supposed to are they going to be capable in a war situation? Anyways, so they experimented with radically lowering the bottom, radically lowering the minimum that people needed to get in, and it was a huge disaster. And the one thing that my friend pointed out, especially that he thought was like really funny, that I also think is just crazy to even imagine, these people didn't realize that you have to throw something in an arc. That they would have a grenade, they'd try to throw it at something, and they would throw it like straight at it and not understand why it like didn't make it there. They didn't understand that to get more distance you have to throw it an arc. Isn't that like that's just I don't know. I don't know. I so I feel like Magma is maybe on the borderline of this. And he might not. No. I'm sure Magma would understand that you should throw something in an arc. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. That's all for now. Actually, it's not. We have another chapter to read. So, that's the fun of being behind. You can read more. So please join me for that as well. Bye bye for now.